And there's actually another big deadline in July that has the president on edge, and that is July 9th. That's a deadline on tariffs. While world leaders are negotiating, business leaders are bracing for potential new tariffs and how it may impact them. Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Abijoy Burnett is following this for us. Abijoy, what is the White House saying about where these talks stand?
Hey there, Andrew. Administration officials have told us that they're making progress with their trade partners. And one of those very important trade partners, Canada, is back at the negotiating table. But you mentioned that July deadline. Right now, it is unclear if those deadlines will be met. And this is making it really hard for businesses to plan. Trade talks between the U.S. and Canada back on after Canada's prime minister announced the country will rescind its plan to tax U.S. technology firms. It comes days after President Trump canceled trade talks with Canada because of that tax. Prime Minister Mark Carney saying the two countries are aiming to have a deal by July 21st. Meanwhile, July 8th is when a 90-day pause on so-called reciprocal tariffs for dozens of countries ends, and a July 9th deadline on European Union tariffs is also looming. But President Trump said Friday those deadlines weren't set in stone.
We can do whatever we want. We could extend it. We could make it shorter.
Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says trade deals could be finished by Labor Day.
If tariffs are consistently going in and out, it's incredibly difficult for any business to be able to go and plan.
Isaac Hetzrani is the CEO of a sourcing company and says business leaders are most frustrated with that uncertainty. Some business leaders are now looking past potential tariffs until rates are finalized, according to supply chain consultant Jonathan Kohlhauer.
I think that many businesses at this point are becoming skeptical of the tariffs, and I think that they have reached a point where it's, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, and they don't want to be fooled again.
The White House saying negotiations are ongoing and deals will be announced soon. And President Trump's initial announcements regarding tariffs really rattled the markets back in April, but it seems as if Wall Street is really trying to move beyond that. Wall Street started out really strong this morning. The S&P 500 started so strong it regained all of its losses since April, since that announcement, since so many people were really worried about their 401k. But the big thing that we have to keep in mind here, Andrew, is that there's still many deals that could potentially be worked out.
And it is really tough to keep track of where everything stands. I can't imagine if you're a business. But there are a couple deals that the Trump administration says they've actually completed. Can you remind us where exactly this administration has seen progress?
You're right about that. There are a lot of things that are going on, and it's really hard to keep track. But the administration said that back in June, they really solidified a deal between the United States and the United Kingdom. And then last week, we heard of a deal between the U.S. and China. And then there's a possibility that we could be hearing about a deal between the United States and India. But keep in mind that back in April, President Trump said he wanted to have 90 deals in 90 days. It seems as if we're really far off from that. But you just heard in that piece that President Trump is saying he could either extend those deadlines or shorten it. It really is all up to the administration.
All right, Abijoy Burnett in our D.C. newsroom. Abijoy, thank you.